When we think of deadly animals, we usually think of creatures like sharks or lions. But these don't even kill 1,000 people per year. And there are animals that kill way more. You may say humans kill the most humans, and you'd be close. But no, the deadliest animal is the mosquito, specifically the female mosquito. Mosquitoes kill over 1 million people every single year. That's more than the number of people who die from war, plane crashes, and terrorist attacks, and all of these combined. When one of these bugs sucks your blood, it acquires whatever transmissible disease you had. Then when it goes on to bite another person, it spits disease-carrying saliva in that person's bloodstream. This is how diseases like malaria, dengue, Zika, yellow fever spread. Malaria is the leading cause of death by mosquitoes, killing over 400,000 people every year, which is why we'll be focusing on it in this video. The good news is, if you're watching this, you can have a big impact to help eradicate this awful disease. Malaria isn't only widespread and deadly, it also causes a lot of suffering to those who get it.
Na taɓa shi. Ina jin kaina ciwo, ina jin sanyi, ina ta jijjiga. Na ji tsoron mutuwa, na aza mutuwa ma zan yi.
Nausea and vomiting also often occur. These symptoms last for 1 to 2 weeks on average, during which time you're bedridden and unable to complete virtually any task. Children younger than 5 comprise over half the deaths from malaria, making it one of the world's leading causes of child mortality. It kills over 250,000 children every year, which means every 2 minutes, another child dies from malaria. In addition to its enormous death toll, over 200 million people fell ill with the disease last year, leading to massive economic losses. Each year, malaria is estimated to cost Africa roughly $12 billion in lost GDP, which is about the GDP of Madagascar. Malaria used to be prevalent all across the world, even in the US and Europe. Thanks to insecticides, changes in land use, and economic development, most countries eradicated malaria. Yet some regions have far more malarial mosquitoes, more humid and rainy climates, and less access to insecticides and well-sealed housing. These conditions are optimal for malaria to spread, which is why nearly 9 out of 10 cases take place in sub-Saharan Africa. Thankfully, malaria deaths are declining, according to the World Health Organization and the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation. This progress is largely due to the increased usage of mosquito nets, insecticides, and anti-malarial medicines. So why don't we have a vaccine for malaria? After all, it took less than a year to get COVID vaccines. According to the CDC, the development of a malaria vaccine has faced several obstacles. The lack of a traditional market, few developers, and the technical complexity of developing any vaccine against a parasite, as opposed to a virus like the coronavirus, or a bacterium like the one that causes cholera. Some malaria vaccines have undergone trials in the past, but were not very effective. But a new vaccine is in trials that has an efficacy of 77%, meaning that if you get the vaccine, you're 77% less likely to get malaria than those who don't have the vaccine. This could cut malaria deaths dramatically. Another potentially promising solution is gene drives. For a few years now, we've been able to genetically engineer mosquitoes so that they're immune to malaria. We can then spread those mosquitoes into affected areas. Normally, when you genetically engineer an animal and put it into the wild, only half of its offspring will have that genetically altered gene, so it won't really spread through the population. But using gene drives, it can, as nearly 100% of the offspring will carry that altered gene. This way, after a couple generations, entire mosquito populations will be immune, eradicating malaria in that area. Some worry genetic engineering could have disastrous ecological consequences, while others think the risk is insignificant. Right now, the idea is still being researched. Vaccines and gene drives look really promising and will hopefully be widely used soon. But at the moment, 1,000 people still die from this disease every day. So what can we do now? Are there effective things that we can do? It turns out malaria is one of the most cost-effective diseases to fight. The nonprofit GiveWell publishes a small list of highly impactful charities every year. Out of this list, 2 charities focus on malaria prevention: the Against Malaria Foundation and Malaria Consortium's Seasonal Malaria Chemoprevention Program. These charities are also being recommended by charity evaluators such as Giving What We Can and The Life You Can Save, though a lot of their research is based on GiveWell's.
GiveWell's goal is to direct funding to save and improve the most lives. And the way that we do that is by conducting intense research into giving opportunities, identifying the ones that best fit our criteria, and publishing the full details of our analysis so that anyone who comes to our website can see what we recommend and why.
So what do these charities do, and what makes their programs stand out? Are there any good reasons not to donate to them? An estimated $5 donated to the Against Malaria Foundation buys and distributes an insecticide-treated bed net for people in developing countries. AMF has been a GiveWell recommended charity every year since 2009, except 2013. Over 90% of contributions are used to directly buy and distribute bed nets. These nets surround the bed of 1 to 2 people for 2 to 3 years, protecting them from mosquito bites while they sleep. Studies have shown that bed nets are very effective, reducing malaria cases by 45% on average. AMF works with local communities and governments to distribute the bed nets.
So 9 months after the Against Malaria Foundation supports a net distribution in a particular location, they go back and they check to see how many nets are hung. So they visit a portion of the households and they look to see, are the nets still in use? Are they in good condition? And based on that information, we feel reasonably confident that the majority of nets are in use after these distributions and that they're doing their job of preventing malaria.
Many people are worried the insecticides aren't that effective anymore because mosquitoes are starting to develop a resistance against them. GiveWell takes these and many other factors into account in their assessment, yet they still think Against Malaria Foundation is a highly cost-effective charity. AMF also funded large-scale research into a new type of bed net, the PBO net, which inhibits enzymes in mosquitoes that allow them to develop insecticide resistance. Preliminary data suggests that these may be even more effective than traditional bed nets at preventing malaria. Now let's look at the Malaria Consortium, recommended since 2016. Their Seasonal Malaria Chemoprevention, or SMC program, administers anti-malarial medicines to children under 5 during the rainy season, when malaria transmission is at its peak. The medicine reduces malaria cases among those treated by approximately 75% for a month, and is given 4 months in a row. It costs about $7 per child for the full treatment each year.
Pendant l'administration des médicaments du CPS, nous faisons de porte en porte. Une fois que nous partons expliquer la CPS, comme ils savent que c'est un traitement du paludisme, aucune famille n'a refusé. Avant la CPS, le paludisme affectait trop nos enfants. Avec la CPS, il y a beaucoup moins d'enfants qui font le paludisme.
Communities notice this extreme decrease in malaria cases.
Yara na 8 amma biyu sun rasu saboda zazzabin cizon sauro. Yanzu sauran su ma suna yin masu sara. Wanga gaskiya mai kyau ne. Magani mai kyau kuma magani ba? Akwai gaskiya maganin da ake ba su akwai wadanda samu ba wadansu.
Since these medicines are given to children under 5, it's possible they will be less immune to malaria when they grow older. And only just over half of the population actually receives the medication for the full 4 months. The chemoprevention may sometimes have rare side effects too, and like with bed nets, the malarial parasites may be developing a resistance to it. GiveWell accounts for all of these effects in their assessment, and overall, they still think Malaria Consortium is a highly cost-effective charity. GiveWell estimates that AMF and Malaria Consortium's SMC program will each save a life for about $3,000 to $5,000.
And that number might sound high if you're used to seeing charity marketing claims that say, oh, $1 can save a life or $5 can save a life. But when we're calculating the cost to save a life, we look at all of the different costs to a program and all of the different factors that go into achieving that program successfully. So in order for the cost to save a life of giving to the Against Malaria Foundation to be $5, it would need to be true that 100% of people who don't receive these nets would have otherwise died of malaria. And we know that's not true. We look at how long we expect a net to last and how many people we expect to sleep under a net. And so we look at all of these different factors and many, many, many more. Our cost effectiveness model has hundreds of inputs into it and ultimately come out with that bottom line figure of around $3,000 to $5,000.
Even if the true cost per life saved were anywhere near $3,000, the average American could still save a life every year if they donated just a few weeks' wages to one of these charities. Most people think saving lives is restricted to doctors and firefighters. But in fact, many of us can save lives simply by donating to effective charities like these. Even much smaller donations could still have a tremendous impact. Many families are very grateful for these organizations' efforts. They remove the almost constant fear that their child might die. Communities celebrate the fact that they're more free from the disease and the pain and poverty that it brings.
Moi le gars là bas il que ba chwa tortem bo maram le na bla ko ti ñu war po te de jano ti en lañ foton tona le torti lente bla ko le yang malim peni ya le me ta kan jin ma le na ran che fala ti ba gwar dir mun bebe na ka jan ya po min jandi i mo en li ya bo ci yalla le me bla pa ka ti ñu war.
We've mentioned GiveWell a lot in this video, but that's just because we believe they're a good source of information. None of these organizations we've mentioned funded this video or asked us to make it. Right now, donating to Malaria Consortium's SMC program and the Against Malaria Foundation are one of the best things you can do to help the global poor. There's a link to donate to both of these charities in the description. But perhaps you think that other problems are more pressing. So subscribe and learn more ways that we can move toward a happier world.
Hi, Jeroen here, editor of the video and creator of the channel. If you liked this video or thought it was important, share it with your friends. We tried to explain this topic as accurately as possible, but since we're human, there's a good chance we've made mistakes. So we welcome discussion on the issue raised and feedback on our presentation of it in the comments below. Thanks for watching!